Well, it's never easy when it ends like this. Give Philly all the credit. I thought they certainly were the better team tonight, but I thought our guys competed. It's just, when you come into somebody else's house against a really good football team, you can't start the way we did. And to fumble the opening kick and then them turn it into a touchdown and be down 7-0 from the jump, it was obviously too much to overcome. But I appreciate the heck out of our guys in that locker room. Those guys show up every day with a great attitude, great energy, and compete. And I thought our guys competed to the final whistle, to tell you the truth. I thought defensively, we played winning football. It's just offensively and on special teams, we had too many mistakes. And you can't overcome those against a really good football team. So give Philly all the credit. They deserved it. But I hurt for our guys because, like I said, there's a lot of energy and work that goes into this thing, and it should hurt because there is so much time and effort that goes into it. But hopefully we can use this as fuel to have a great offseason and come back next year ready to rock.
Watching the replay of that fumble, did you think for a moment that maybe Keyshawn had recovered it?
Yeah, I thought so. I thought we recovered the ball, just what they showed on the big board. What I was hearing from our guys upstairs, I think Connor Lewis is spot on majority of the time, and they all thought it was our ball, but obviously the league felt differently. So.
Did you get an explanation on why it wasn't our ball?
I didn't get anything.
How much did that just take the wind out of the sails to start like?
Yeah, you got to be able to overcome things. Bad things happen in games, and you just got to be able to be resilient and bounce back. And we just didn't do enough, obviously, to do that. You're not gonna win many games when you're -4 in the turnover battle. And we knew going in. Sirianni's got a heck of a record when they win the football, so that was one of the points of emphasis. I think it's like 28-2 when they win the turnover battle, and so that was a huge point of emphasis. It always is every week. A lot of these games are going to come down to that, and you can't be -4 and expect to win a football game.
It seems like it's been a real slog on offense for the last 3 weeks. What do you think is the root cause there?
I think it's collectively. I think we all share are part of blame in that, and it was tough tonight because they were playing soft zone really the entire game. Got basically a 6-1 front, played quarters, and we didn't have a whole lot of luck running the ball, like consistently getting them out of that. There were a couple drives where I thought we did pretty well. I thought Josh competed his butt off. I thought we were competing. It's just we weren't as productive as we'd like to be. And then the pass game was just pretty much a struggle all night.
Is there any way, besides running, is there any other way to get them out of it? Is the quick pass game, or is there anything else?
Yeah, and they got good players. And, even when we were running quick game, it's like they were triggering and coming downhill and, smacking us in the back too many times. We tried some double moves to run by them. We got the one DPI on Wicks. I thought there potentially was a couple other ones that obviously didn't get called, but that's life, and you got to be able to overcome it.
What toll do you think these slow starts had on you guys this year against these good teams? And I know it's not just one thing, but why do you think you were able to fix
I
those?
think that's going to be a great reflection point this offseason, because obviously if we had the answers, it wouldn't have been a problem. And for it to come up multiple times is disappointing. And, this is one of the best defenses in the league, so they give them some credit as well. And they played better than us, bottom line.
Was there anything you thought you could hang your head on in the passing game when you were coming in here in Missouri?
Yeah, there was a lot of things that I thought we were going to be able to hang our hat on. And, it's unfortunate. There were a couple times where we had guys open and, when a ball gets batted at the line of scrimmage, it just, there was sometimes we didn't have great protection. So I think it was a multitude of things throughout the course of the game that led to a poor performance in the pass game.
Matt, I'm sure you got to go back and look at it, but on the interception that Jordan threw right before halftime, it looks like he hit some right between the numbers. But Did they trick you? Did somebody have?
No, what we did, we made an adjustment on one of our plays, and in quarters coverage, it was a bad adjustment for us. So we chipped the tight end, we put him over the ball. The hole was there to go where he went. I don't know about the timing of the play and making sure that we got the right route depth and whatnot. Zach Vaughn's a heck of a player. They play visual on the quarterback, and he ended up falling off into the window. So I think that's more of a schematic thing, less of a player performance thing.
It seemed like you had a fair amount of personal fouls all season. You had a couple really costly ones today. What do you think is going on there? How do you correct that?
Yeah, well, I mean, you got to be disciplined at all times, and I get it. Football's an emotional game, but you got to put your emotions in check. And I always chalk those up to I got to look at them first of all to see. Like, I know there was a difference of opinion when I was asking some of the guys of what they thought about some of those, but bottom line is you got to keep your emotions in check, and you can't do anything to put yourself in the crosshairs of the officials, and you never know how they're going to officiate that. So we just got to be better, bottom line.
Now, last year, I think after the playoff game, you said, hey, you can't take these for granted. But you can't always expect to be back here. Obviously, you got back here. What is the message to make sure that you keep building on this and it's not a...
Yeah, I think it just goes back to show you the importance of getting these home field games, in my opinion. And we got a really tough division, and I'm hoping our guys use that for fuel this offseason to dig a little bit deeper and come back a little bit better, each individually, because collectively that'll make a huge difference. Obviously, we'll comb through everything. I think it was, we still got a young football team, and I'm not making excuses or anything like that. We got a young football team that, unfortunately, this is a tough lesson along the way, and hopefully we can use this as fuel to get better and learn and be a better team come next year.
Understandably, you wouldn't talk a lot about it this week, but was the elbow for Jordan, was there any lingering in that? Did you seem like it feel off?
No. I mean, you'd have to ask him. I never heard him one time ever say anything like that.
Obviously not something you want to use as an excuse, but the injuries piled up, obviously, losing Jenkins, losing interior receivers. How much did that contribute to some of the mistakes?
It's football. It's unfortunate. I hate it for our guys that have to battle through that, but it's football. It's next man up mentality, and there's a standard of performance that you have to go out there, and we got to hold that standard no matter who's in, and you got to find ways to adjust, and it's our job as coaches to try to make the necessary adjustments to put those guys in positions where you can still have success, and we obviously didn't do a good enough job of that tonight.
It started to get Jacobs into the passing game a little bit. Was that an adjustment you made during the game, or is that something you thought would be open?
No, we had those plays going into the plan. We haven't done as much, I would say, empty this year. But that was one of the things that we thought we could take advantage of if they're playing the shell defense. We hit them on a now route. I think another time we hit them as a check down. Like I said, they played mostly zone coverage the entire game. So, it's just right now. Nice. That's about par for the night right there.
Matt, you mentioned that you guys are young historically, so in fact the two youngest teams in playoff history are your team last year and your team this year. The teams that you guys have lost to, Philadelphia, San Francisco, Detroit, they've got some veteran guys in that room. Is that something that you guys need more of? You guys grow faster?
We'll see. I think every year is a little bit different, and it's ultimately about how the collective comes together and how we perform as a unit, as a whole team. And I think there's going to be a lot of time for reflection for that, but I love those guys in that locker room, and I appreciate all they do, how they compete, how they put the work in, and just really hurt for those guys.
Matt, have you had a chance to talk to Romeo?
Yeah, I talked to him quickly.
Where's the balance between Jordan taking a shot to Dobbs in double coverage, giving this guy a chance, but on the other hand, maybe dumping it off? I mean, what do you think his thought process has been through this, struggle through this last couple of months.
I think those are all good questions for this offseason as we sit back and reflect. And I love Jordan Love and how he competes and the work he puts in, and I think he's going to get better and better and better. And certainly there's some lessons along the way, some tough lessons anytime you end up in defeat. I mean, that's hard to deal with, but I think you got to be he is very critical of himself. And I think he does such a great job of learning from every experience. So I think, through this, I think we'll all be better for it. Although it's tough to go through, but I think there's going to be a lot of learning over the course of the next however many months before next year arrives.
You've talked in the past explosive plays win games. How do you get more explosive?
Well, it was hard tonight. I mean, you got to earn the right to get them out of that soft shell. And we never did. You'd like to be able to lean on some of the things in the run game, and it was just a little bit of a struggle. But we'll take a look at it, and we got to come up with better answers. And I think it all starts with just staying ahead of the sticks, though, and being efficient on offense. I don't know what the third down numbers were, but I'm guessing they weren't very good. We got to be more efficient is what I tell you. If teams are going to play that soft coverage like that, and you got to be able to convert the third and shorts. And there were a couple times, obviously, at the end of the game. I mean, we got a outcut where we're open, and we ended up out of bounds. So, it's all the little details, I think, that really make a difference in terms of just being able to convert in a lot of those critical situations.
Thank you, guys. Was it throw to Heath, in the corner at the goal line? I mean, was that the right throw? Was it a good throw? Did he stumble coming out of it?
Yeah, that was a correct. I mean, that's something that we saw on tape that we thought we could take advantage of, and I thought he threw a good ball. And it's like all those little things are. That's why, you can't just look at the numbers for a quarterback because it is truly everybody. But yeah, he had a little stumble there, and we end up just missing it. And that's kind of how it went tonight. That was, I would say, a microcosm of the evening of a lot of things that happen offensively.
Can I just ask you, do you know if Myers will come home with you guys? Or
yeah, I think I'm pretty sure he's better than what I thought assessing the situation on the field.